Good morning, Acadiana. It is the top of the hour now. We have got the latest for the National Hurricane Center as we continue to keep an eye on Hurricane Francine, currently sitting out in the Gulf of Mexico, and those who are just waking up did strengthen a bit overnight. Winds now sitting at about 90 miles an hour. Remember, all of this was expected, so we haven't been caught off guard by any kind of rapidly intensifying system. It is behaving more or less as we talked about yesterday. Still expecting it to strengthen over the next several hours, eventually getting to a Category 2 storm before landfall. The track continuing to drift a little bit towards the east as well. Now, for most of Acadiana, that is good news, but the southeastern corner of Acadiana, St. Mary Parish, Iberia Parish, on over towards Vermilion Bay, that area is still expected to see some pretty significant impacts, even as this thing does slide eastwards just a little bit. Now, I do think that some of the flooding and the flash flooding probably moves down over towards southeast Louisiana right now, that you could still see maybe up to 8 inches worth of rainfall out over towards Morgan City, which is still fairly significant. Then, of course, the storm surge threat that's going to come along with it. So starting to see some of the tides come up. We've been keeping our eye on the tide gauges here pretty closely, and you're seeing some signs that that surge is on the way. Most of those areas are probably talking about 3 to 6 feet, 6 feet being mostly along the Vermilion Bay. I think as you get west of Marsh Island, 2-3 feet worth of surge, and even out over towards Holly Beach, even less than that. So I don't think that the Cameron and Vermilion parishes are going to see a whole lot of activity. Now, once you start getting along Vermilion Bay, that does start to change a little bit. A lot of canals that empty out in Vermilion Bay as well, and you're going to see water coming up there. We're going to take a look at that map here in just a sec. 2 to 5 inches worth of rainfall possible. I've come down on the rain totals actually as this track has shifted towards the east a little bit, but you're still going to get isolated spots, 8 inches, maybe a foot in some areas. But I think that is mostly going to be confined to St. Mary Parish, and really specifically kind of the southern parts of the parish as well, especially if the storm continues to drift towards the east a little bit. 40-50 mile an hour wind gusts for most of us, but again, down closer to the coastline, 55, maybe even 80 plus, depending on what it looks like as it starts to come ashore. And then in those outer bands, that's when you start to see some of those tornadoes popping up. So let's take it step by step as we go through the models here this morning. A little bit of a slower storm than we were looking at yesterday, especially because it is drifting a little further towards the east. That's going to delay some of those impacts through the morning. Things are going to be fairly quiet. We are getting some showers out there right now. We'll start to see some of those squalls and some of those rain bands coming through about lunchtime today. Worst of the weather is going to be mid to late afternoon on into the evening. Now, this model brings it up out over towards Terrebonne Parish. Notice that it is a little east of the National Hurricane Center track, and the National Hurricane Center has kind of followed a lot of these models and drifting it eastwards. I wouldn't be surprised if at 10 o'clock it nudges it to the east just a little bit. And that is important because that does take a lot of those impacts, more so for New Orleans, the North Shore, and even out into coastal parts of Mississippi and Alabama, which could stand to see quite a bit of wet weather with this. Because it's moving so fast, we kind of get on the back end on Thursday, which means we're going to get a decent breeze out there through Thursday coming in from the north, drier air getting in here, and we will be done with all of this probably by late tonight, early Thursday morning. As far as rain totals go, 2 to 4 inches worth of rainfall area wide. Most of us should be able to take that without too many issues, so I don't expect big widespread flash flooding with the exception of down in the southeast and down along the coastline, more so towards Morgan City. And again, if it continues to slide eastwards a little bit, then those 8 inches, 12 inches type rainfall, that's going to take place more so out over towards southeast Louisiana. But I would still kind of be wary of that if you're in Morgan City or even Franklin this morning, parts of St. Mary Parish. I don't think completely out of the woods just yet. Wind gusts will sit about 30 to 40 miles an hour in Lafayette. It gets progressively higher the further southeast you go. By the time you get to New Iberia, you're probably looking at 50-60 mile an hour wind gusts through there. Even more extreme out over through the southeastern corner. And if we're seeing wind gusts around the center that are kind of topping 80-90 miles an hour, that's going to be the extreme southeastern parts of Louisiana, Houma areas down towards the coast, and then that starts to clear up as well. So we're still dealing with tropical storm force conditions out there. That this isn't going to take us out of any kinds of impacts. We're still going to feel it, and it's still going to feel very tropical out there. And notice that gradient tightens up pretty quickly. Gusts about 40 miles an hour for Opelousas, Phil Platte, areas down over towards the west, 45 by the time you get to the north side. Youngsville southwards, 50-55 mile an hour wind gusts, 60 to 70 for New Iberia, and then higher as you get to St. Mary Parish and those other areas towards the coast. And we still got to talk about storm surge, which still remains a threat. Not maybe quite as much for Cameron and Vermilion coastlines that are outside of the Vermilion Bay. But the little conclave right here, a lot of that water is going to push up. You got a lot of marsh out there as well, so there's not a whole lot that kind of gets in its way. 3 feet on the western side, but that could push some of the water up in Delcombe. You've got all the shrimping boats that are up there that use those canals. You're probably going to see a little bit of flooding out along the docks and then the eastern side of St. Mary Parish. If we're going to get 9 feet worth of storm surge, that's likely where it's going to be. Some of the low-lying areas around Franklin, continuing to see that maybe we could get a little bit of surge up in there. And you've got Highway 90 that runs through that area as well. You're going to get water pretty close to the highway, if not over the highway, in some of those areas between Franklin and Baldwin. So that is still going to be the big issue that we're keeping an eye on.